All right, World Wide Web, another super amazing edition of Sports and Tacos coming at you. We have some new guests on tonight, which I'm excited about because it does kind of get old, sometimes talking to the same old people every week in and week out. So we're going to roll the intro and we'll dive in. All right, cool guys. We're back on Sports and Tacos, another Monday night edition. I'm your host as usual, Spencer Cadigan. I do not have my usual co-hosts and suspects, Tony, Bama, Alex Ginzel. Tony and Bama apparently feel that the Denver Nuggets playing to go to the NBA Finals for the first time ever was more important than coming on Sports and Tacos tonight. So they're sitting in Tony's living room with a bunch of my ex-coworkers, getting drunk, watching the Nuggets play basketball. They're going to try and hop on at halftime. And G Unit, Miss Alex Ginzel, is on a plane coming home from Kansas, visiting her family. I think we're going to be joined. I think Farah Al-Shadi, the super amazing Farah Al-Shadi, our podcast referee. She's supposed to be hopping on here in a minute. So, we do have a couple of new guests on tonight, which makes me happy. Mr. Russ Weekland and Mark Gordon, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yes, awesome. Okay.
There, but sorry.
Cool. No, anytime we have new guests on, I like to get just a little background. So basically, let's see. I live in LA. I met Russ at it's kind of ironic. I was just thinking, in that one night, I met Alex Ginzel, the girl who's on the show. She's like a football nut. She's from Kansas City, who's become a co-host on this show. And then I also met Russ. And that was all at the David Ortiz Hall of Fame party like last summer. It was a pretty epic party. It was a pretty fun.
It was pretty fun.
It was a pretty fun event. I met a lot of people that night. So, anyways, Russ, give me your background, your backstory. Who are you? And where are you from? What are your favorite teams? All the things.
So where I'm from is I was born in New Jersey, but grew up in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, in a town called Sandwich, like you eat a sandwich.
Sandwich, Massachusetts.
Sandwich, Massachusetts. Look it up; it's great. And you would think that my teams would be the Patriots, the Celtics, the Red Sox, the Bruins. Some of those are my teams. I have liked the Patriots before the dynasty, and still do. I don't like the Red Sox, though. I've always been a Yankees fan. Don Mattingly is my favorite player ever. So I'm sticking with that. I moved out to Los Angeles about 18 years ago and always wanted season tickets to something. So I chose the Clippers, and I've continued with them and their disappointment, but they've gotten better, and now the new stadium's coming about. So screw the Lakers. And that's probably a little bit with my Massachusetts. But my teams are all over the place. I have a Savannah Bananas jersey on right now.
What sport is that?
What's that?
What sport is the Savannah Bananas?
It's kind of like minor league baseball, but they're the kind of the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. So look it up if you haven't, because they're awesome.
The Savannah Bananas. Awesome.
And then looks like we have Farah here.
Miss Farah, the super amazing Miss Farah Al-Shadi. She is basically the director and editor of this amazing sports podcast and lots of other things that involve myself. So, and she's awesome.
Well, to finish with me, I guess I'm an entertainment reporter. I've worked for TMZ, Hollywood Life, Radar Online, a bunch of different outlets. As of today, I started with the Daily Mail, so we'll see how that ride goes. And so far so good.
Sweet. So basically, how are you a beat writer? Do you write exclusively for someone? Do you write for lots of different people? How does that work?
So for a long time, I did write exclusively for TMZ. Was supposed to be 3 days. It turned into 3.5 years. I wrote for the television show and started breaking news and big crazy stories through those 3.5 years. Then I moved on to Hollywood Life, where I did more red carpet reporting and a lot more interviews to interview musicians, sports stars, actors, actresses, etc. And then as of the recent year and a half or 2 years, I've been freelancing for theblast.com, Variety, like In Touch, and just a kind of plethora of that. So either writing or interviewing or doing all those kind of things. And then again today I've started with the Daily Mail. So the Daily Mail is gonna be a little bit of everything, where I'm gonna be writing, reporting, red carpeting, just being there and everywhere kind of thing.
Awesome. Cool. That sounds like that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm an actor, writer, producer. That's pretty cool stuff, man. I would love to do that kind of stuff. Okay, well, Mark, give me your background. Where are you from? What do you do? What are your favorite teams? All the things.
So I'm from Philadelphia, and I grew up in the world of sports. As a kid, my dad was a doctor for the Sixers. So when I was really young, I used to go down to the games. I have some pictures of me and my favorite player, which was Dr. J at the time.
Ooh, I've met Dr.
So
J
I was
many
there
times.
until 5 or 6. Pictures of like Doug Collins holding up, dunking a ball. So that was kind of cool. So I was always around sports. I got an internship with the Philadelphia Eagles. So I was in PR, and that's when Jeff Lurie's first year, when we were at the vet. So I used to be doing a lot of like hang with PR. I used to play a lot of Madden with the players. I used to hang out with the players. I would always, when we go out, I would say I was the backup kicker. Worked out really well. No other position that I could really pass off myself as.
Smart move.
Funny story on that, if I can go on. When I was 21, my parents, unbeknownst to me, got a stripper for me, and they walked into the media room. So someone came in as a cop. I looked down, I'm like, she's got heels on. I don't think that's a real cop. And then right in front of everything, I think a couple players walked in. They're like, oh, is this what you guys do? Yeah, that's not what we always do. I don't think that would fly right now, but it was a different time in the 90s.
Give it a chance. Give it a chance.
Yeah, maybe it'll come back. Maybe it'll come back. No guns and strippers, so sorry, Ja. We would not have liked that.
Nice.
So then after that, I worked for a AA baseball team, the Trent Thunder, and I was there when they had the strike. And everyone was like, yo, this is Yankee guy, and there's a shortstop. We got to check this dude out. It was Derek Jeter. So I used to come, I used to see him and Tony Clark were there. So that was a fun experience. I worked for my college, which is Tulane, in marketing. And then after that, I ended up just not doing anything in the world of sports. Came out to LA. I was doing stand-up and acting. And then I have my own show called The High Road out. And then 2 other shows that are coming out. So that is my quick summation in the world of sports and entertainment.
Pretty awesome.
Yes, and also do not like the Lakers as well. I'm a Laker hater growing up on the
Even better. Better. Mark, you're a legend in my book.
Mark, so Mark, what are your teams?
I'm an Eagle fan and a Sixer fan. Those are my 2 teams. I mean, then I'll follow if the Phillies are doing something, but I'm not as much of a baseball fan.
The only Super Bowl I went to is when the Eagles beat the Patriots. So I hate you for that, but you got back in my heart with the Lakers.
Hold on. So Russ, I went to when you guys beat us the first time. So I was there for that. So we probably picked the wrong ones. We should have swapped it.
We'll have to go back in time and switch tickets.
There's nothing worse than going there, spending all the money, and watching them lose. So
Absolutely, I think I'm still paying for the seats.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be fun to just go to the Super Bowl, but I mean, I'm born and raised in Denver, so we've lost our share of Super Bowls. We've won our share, but Jesus.
Ironically, I was a Broncos fan back in the day.
Oh, really?
And now I'm a fan, so there we go.
John Elway.
Yep.
John Elway, baby. Still the greatest quarterback to ever play NFL football. Hey, Farah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, tell me.
Farah. Give us your backstory real quick. You're on here. So who are you? What do you do? And what is your favorite sports teams?
I hate that question. I'll just go straight to sports. I have no idea what you guys talking about. I have zero interest in sports.
We're gonna change.
I do like soccer, which is not very American. Yeah. Just
you're what? You're a director, editor, an amazing artist.
Yeah.
Right.
Wouldn't call myself that, but yeah.
So that's
trying. We're out here.
Yes.
So.
Yes, and you now run the ship, Sports and Tacos ship. Typically, we need a referee. Hey, Mark, just so you know, like normally, this show was started about 4 years ago, back at my old bar in Denver. Me and my buddy Tony, my buddy Bama, we all worked together for years at a huge sports bar in South Denver, and all we did was talk about sports, bet each other on sports, just constantly. It's all it is. And one night we were sitting around Tony's apartment. He had one of those stupid karaoke microphones, and he was like drunk, and he started commentating a game or something. And we got the idea to start a sports podcast. We went to the GM the next day of the sports bar. He let us have the band area on Monday nights because they never had live music on Monday nights, and thus Sports and Tacos was born. We used to eat and review tacos on the show live, like when we were all together back pre-COVID, but now we're all scattered across the country, so we're able. And the taco thing, we're going to try and get back to the reviewing tacos sooner or later, but that's how Sports and Tacos was born. Usually, you would have Tony and Bama. Tony's a very eccentric, loud sports fan, which is why a lot of times we need a referee because he doesn't necessarily have the filter of the like now you go filter. So there's a lot of crosstalk.
So would you say he's the Stephen A. Smith
referee? Because a lot of times the audio. Yes, he's the Stephen A. Smith of Sports and Tacos. In a way. I think I like Tony more than Stephen A. Smith when it comes to certain things. I like Stephen A. Smith when it comes to basketball. But my own opinion, the guy, like when it comes to football and stuff, he probably should stay in his own lane. But that's just me. I digress. He's got his own show on ESPN or whatever. So he's obviously doing something right. But anyways, okay. So let's start with this. Lakers, Nuggets. I am born and raised in Denver. I hate the Lakers. They have broken the Denver Nuggets' hearts many times over the years. And I feel bad actually, because for like the last 2 months on this show, Tony and Bama have just been ranting and raving about how this is the Denver Nuggets year. They are the best team in basketball. They are going to win the NBA championship. And when you go back a month ago, I was like, bros, our heart's going to get broken. Don't get too fired up about it. You still stayed out there. You still got the Lakers out there. You had the Phoenix Suns who just picked up Kevin Durant out there. And we're going to have to get through this gauntlet in the West to do what you guys are talking about doing. And the entire time for months, they've been talking mad smack about how I moved to LA. Now I hate the Nuggets. I love the Lakers, blah, blah, blah. And that's not the case. But the more smack that I talk, the more the Nuggets keep winning. And they are now up 3-0. Now, I don't know if they're necessarily – I figure the Lakers are going to get at least one win. That could happen tonight, but who knows? But it would be an absolute miracle for the Lakers to come back being down 3-0. They still would have to win more games in Denver, which I don't necessarily see that happening. But I guess my question here is, who did anybody really? Because I know a month ago, no one other than people in Denver were taking the Nuggets serious. What, Russ? What's your thought of Jokic, Murray, the Nuggets, and what they're doing?
Jokic should have been the MVP this year, for one.
Yeah.
I didn't think that Denver would necessarily, and they still might not, win the NBA championship. But once I started watching them, especially in the playoffs, they do everything right. They pass right. They shoot right. They wait. If they're up by 15, they're not going down and shooting a 3-pointer with like 21 seconds still on the shot clock. They wait. They do every single thing correctly. And I wouldn't necessarily agree that there was a gauntlet to go through, like you said, through the West, because the Lakers are trash, and they're finally going up against somebody that like can beat them. Phoenix is trash because KD is not a winner. He has to join somebody to win. He'll never win. He's not sure. Have the Hall of Fame, have whatever. You're not ever gonna win on your own ever. These teams are good, yes, but Denver is so good. But it could be the hot goalie situation because the Heat are just like, and Eric Spoelstra is a great coach. So when the Heat and Denver likely meet in the finals, the Heat have a chance. Boston should have won the NBA championship this year, but clearly that's probably not going to happen. But it's a hot goalie situation for the Heat. But I mean, come on, Denver is so good, and I agree that Lakers might get one because NBA refs are just atrocious. But I mean, Denver's really good.
Yeah, they really are. You know, they've definitely proved that number one seed. Because, like I said, for me, there's so many years. Kobe breaks our hearts. Whoever, it's just, you know, throughout the Nuggets have never been to the NBA Finals. You know, so okay, here, guys, here's Tony and Bama.
What up?
What up, guys?
You got your whistle?
We're trying to get it going. We'll do it like this. It's not holding up for us. Go Nuggets! Go Nuggets!
Yeah. So there's. Yep. So, Mark, what are your thoughts on what the Denver Nuggets are doing this year?
Well, first, I want to counter Russ's Jokic should have been the MVP, and 100% disagree. Clearly, it was Embiid. He had the best season. He is much better. This is a regular season award. He's so much better than the Joker on the defense end. Denver has a much stronger team than the Sixers. You guys are – Jamal Murray is better than Harden. You guys are loaded with shooters. You guys are probably the deepest team. Porter Jr., when he's on, I mean, he's having a monster year. So much easier for Jokic to do his thing, pass and kick to the shooters, than it is for Embiid, who basically has Maxey, Harden, Harden and Harris. And those guys are only Maxey's the only guy who can get his own shot at this point because Harden's fat and slow. So as far as did I think Denver would be the number one seed? Yes. I thought maybe the Grizzlies before Ja did his whole gun waving incident, maybe they had a chance, but they're too immature. And with Steven Adams out, there was literally no chance of stopping Joker. He can't handle Jokic, and Phoenix just stripped themselves out. Lakers, they just don't have enough. So there was really nobody else I thought in the West that would even come close if the Nuggets were healthy. And Jamal Murray, I was always.
See, I mean, how can okay? Sorry, but like you have you had a Golden State team with 4 rings that was finally healthy in the playoffs. They were my number one pick. You had the Lakers getting it together. You had I know, but you had KD joining 3 other freaking all-stars. I mean, in DeAndre Ayton, Booker, and Chris Paul, and Kevin Durant, they were, I mean, that's damn near an all-star team right there in your starting lineup. Tony and Bama, what are your thoughts about the Denver Nuggets?
Well, for one, brother, hey, man, we have the best bench team in all of NBA. It's been proven. It's already been showed. Right now, with the series with the Lakers going into the playoffs, we're 0-7. We're hoping to change that to make it 1-7 or 1, we just need stuff to happen. But right now, we're just filling them out. And it's a good game right now. Everybody's the refs. I got to say it again, man. They're painful. They're painful, but man, it's a tough game. But you know what? We still got third period and fourth period. Let's see what happens, man.
NBA refs are the worst.
Yeah,
the worst.
100% agree with Tony. But I want to go back to the gentleman in the far corner up there that was talking about Joker not deserving a third MVP. That's ridiculous.
Nope.
You average triple-double for the season just because they kind of lacked off in the last week or two of the season right there. You're going to give it to a guy like Embiid?
Yep. He's much better defensively.
Denver did not get that third. They did not want Denver to have the third 3 straight MVPs since Larry Bird did it. A Denver market will not get that. They don't say that. It's going to be East Coast or West Coast, man. He deserved that 100%, and he's showing off in his playoffs right now.
No, it's a regular season, not a postseason.
It is a regular season. I'm not talking about the regular season. The dude averaged a triple-double.
Who cares
He
about
made it look too easy.
But triple-doubles, you have a stacked team. And not only that, he's not – like when Embiid went against him one-on-one, he dropped 50 on him. I think Joker what did he get, like 20-some points? He looked terrible. Embiid destroyed him. Joker is not Embiid. Is when Embiid's on, the most dominant player, more dominant.
Wasn't that pretty? Well, wait a minute. Wasn't that pretty late in the season? Like, I don't think the Nuggets really cared about that game.
It was early on, and he just embarrassed.
Joker's average of he was about 10 points less or so than Embiid and Giannis in Milwaukee.
Who's in the West? He
averaged over 10 assists a game pretty much. I mean, dude, he dishes out more shots than he gets right there. Plus, when he gets his, dude, I will take that dude definitely deserved a third straight MVP.
No.
The
Nuggets
Serbian beast
showing you guys right now. Nuggets are showing you guys right now that the number 1 seed is a number 1 seed for a reason.
On the weak West. Let's be honest. And there's what centers are out west? What bigs are out west? There's like no one out.
Bigs ain't the game anymore, brother. You can get around the big. You got athletic 5 guys with a couple of decent tall guys in there with them.
Exactly. So you guys have stacked shooters all over the place. Embiid we don't have that. And so it's much easier to drive and then kick to your guys. I'm just saying, there's no comparison on defense. You guys are like all over the triple-double. Like, who cares? It's great. Russell Westbrook got a triple-double. You saying that, you saying he's the top?
Yeah, player? But brother, we're talking about constant triple-doubles. And then what he's already accomplished in the playoffs, including against 2 of the best teams. Oh my gosh,
But
yes, he's definitely showing up.
Hey guys, real quick. I just wanted Russ has to go in like 6 minutes, just so you guys know. Russ Weekland. He writes for all kinds of big TMZ, Variety, what's the Daily Wire?
Yeah, heck yeah, right on, brother.
Daily Wire. And Mark, what's your actual title? Actor, writer, producer?
Yeah, actor, writer, producer, host.
Mark's got some shows out, some pilots out. Russ, real quick before you take off, I want to dive in because you were talking about playoff Jimmy. And okay, so Russ actually thinks playoff Jimmy might knock off the Nuggets. Okay, so you dive into it, Russ, before you go. I want to know why you think.
I'm saying there's a chance.
Honestly,
no, go on.
Go ahead. I just get it because I think the exact opposite of Mark. I think the West is so much better than the East that doesn't matter who comes out of the West, the East is going to get destroyed.
If the Celtics played the way that they were supposed to, the Celtics would win the championship in 7 games against Denver. Denver is awesome. and will likely win the NBA championship, and I'm completely fine with that. But it's the hot goalie situation right now, and Eric Spoelstra is such a good coach that he might take Jimmy to the promised land. It's at least going to go 6 games, and like we just talked about how NBA refs are the worst. So
they're terrible this time around. This is the fact that they're going to be probably doing robots pretty soon. You watch. It's getting horrible. And some of the actions tonight, some of the players didn't even touch, and they called them a foul, and they couldn't believe it themselves. So now they got 2 fouls going, 3 fouls going, and it's just first half. It's pretty disappointing.
I would love Denver to win. I can't wait till they beat the Lakers. But Jimmy is playing out of his mind right now, and the NBA refs, I mean, might want Miami. Might want a parade in Miami instead of Denver.
Could you imagine if Jimmy Butler just like takes the world on his back and just were to do that? That would be a Michael Jordan-esque type accomplishment.
Dude, the 8 seed's already knocked off a 1 seed, and now they're going after a 3 seed. I mean, hell, they ain't gonna touch Denver's 1 seed, man. They get there, yeah.
I don't think so. I think Denver wins that series. I mean, the only chance Miami has if somehow Tyler Hero can come back magically, which doesn't sound like it's going to happen.
And anyways, Russ, if you got to hop off, thank you very much for coming on.
I do, but I love this brief half hour that I was on this, and I'm coming back because
pleasure to meet you, brother.
Hey,
Russ, yes, definitely next time.
Russ,
bye, Russ.
Hey, I was gonna say, ask Scotty if he ever wants to come on too. We always like anybody that is passionate about sports.
Love it.
Hey,
love it.
real quick, speaking of refs, there's one of my refs that is one of my favorites. What's up, girl? How you doing?
How are you?
Doing good, sweetheart. I just need my Nuggets to step it up and put it on and bring it out like a big dog.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Awesome, Russ.
I'll leave on that note.
Thank you, Russ. Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Hey, take it easy, brother. It's nice meeting you, my man.
Yeah, man.
Go Nuggets.
Good luck out there.
So, you guys can talk all the smack you want, but I think you know what I think.
Hi, Spencer.
Sorry, we got a guest. We got a special guest.
Awesome. Who's all?
I gotta go. Nice to meet y'all.
Tell them to stay on and talk about the Cowboys.
Hey, says stand up, talk about the Cowboys.
Oh, we ain't got to talk about the Cowboys right now. It's basketball season. Go Nugs.
Yeah,
Hey,
go
Rev,
Nuggets.
you're doing a horrible job. I don't know who you are on the top corner, but go Sports and Tacos all day.
Go Eagles.
Let me know. Spencer.
What up? Good to
Bye,
see
y'all.
you. Okay, come back on soon, Gary.
All right, later.
Okay, bye. All right. So, anyways, I think this is what I think. I think the more that I talk smack about the Nuggets not having any chance to win the NBA championship, I think they're going to win the NBA championship.
Oh, that ain't just you, Spencer. Yeah, I mean, every time at work when I'm at the bar, man, everything's got Nuggets, not Nuggets. It's Lakers this. Why did the Lakers lose the game? What is Boston or Miami going to do to win the – it's just, nobody gives Nuggets any props. I love it, dude. It fuels the fire.
Hey, man, I like it because we're the hidden number one. And the hidden number one is actually the last number one standing. And you know what? We're still going to be standing all the way to the NBA Finals for the first time ever in Denver, Colorado's
Knock on wood.
Ever.
Knock on wood.
And we're going to keep that. It's gonna, instead of being 0/149, it will be 0/150. There haven't been a comeback ever in history.
I know, from down 3-0.
Yep.
Yeah. So, what are your guys's? We were talking to Russ. What do you think about what playoff Jimmy's doing? Like, okay, let's pretend that the Nuggies have already knocked off the Lakers. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, how scared should we be of playoff Jimmy? Because don't get me
Jimmy's
wrong,
been awesome during the regulars. I agree with you 100%. During the regular season, he's shooting 22.5. In the playoffs, he's 27 point whatever, going and growing and going. And he has a lot of help in that on his team. And you know what? They're chiming at the right time, man. They look good, and I hate to say it, Boston, is not going to
Yeah,
go.
yeah, they're both down 3-0. So I guess what I'm getting at here is on a scale of 1 to 10, say the Nuggets are in the finals and the Heat make the finals, which on a side note is a total nightmare for the NBA for ratings. Like you could have had Lakers, Celtics, and you're going to get probably Nuggets and Heat. But how afraid on a scale of 1 to 10, Bama, are you of playoff Jimmy going full-blown Jordan mode and somehow knocking off the Nuggets?
0.
0, no chance.
0%. Yeah. I mean, I love playoff Jimmy. Jimmy can do his thing, but Jimmy ain't going to do it for 7 games right there against the Nugget series.
Yeah. Tony, scale of 1 to 10. Because anything's possible. Anything is
Oh, no,
possible.
don't get me wrong, man. There's already been players chiming everywhere in these playoffs. But, at the same time, 1 to 10, I'll throw Mr. Butler, number 22. I'll give him a strong 7 because you know what? If he gets stopped, things can happen. And then, it's got to be defense. Got to be defense.
You give him a 7 to knock off the Nuggets and the
No, right now I'm giving him a 7. No, when he goes to the finals, I'll put him down to a 5.
A 5, yeah. Okay, Mark, what do you – so it's Nuggets Heat.
I think the Nuggets definitely win that just because the Nuggets are just so well-rounded and they're just so deep. So, like, Boston is basically like you have Brown and Tatum essentially kind of playing the same position, and it's like hero ball. The Nuggets don't play that. They play team ball. So I just don't see Miami being able to. You got a guy like Aaron Gordon who can match up with Bam. Very athletic, very strong.
Yeah.
Which Boston doesn't really have anybody. Horford's slow, and Grant Williams is too small. So I just don't see any chance. I think Jamal Murray is playing so well right now that Miami doesn't have anybody. I mean, if Butler's guarding him, then you're going to have Porter and those other guys just going off, KCP. I can't see Miami beating them.
Yeah.
At all.
I mean, that's the thing with the Nuggets. This is the first year the Nuggets have actually been healthy. And again, I'm knocking on wood. They have not been healthy through a whole season with all these guys, Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, Jokic. Now you bring in a Caldwell Pope, Bruce Brown, Aaron Gordon, those guys. I mean, it's a healthy team from starter to halfway down the bench right there. It's just,
Yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, because normally it's Jamal Murray's injured or is hurt, right? Porter's got a bad back.
Exactly, yeah.
But now they're going to have – and not only that, if they both knock off, what do we have? Like almost like a week to rest up too. So
I do like that.
I do not like that. I don't want them to have a week off. I do not want a team coming off a 7-game series if it happens to go that way with Boston being hot and ready to play against the Nuggets team right there that's been off for 5 or 6 days. I hope that Miami knocks them off pretty soon so both teams get some good rest.
Yeah, that's true. But, I kind of want to put a poster of Jimmy Butler up on my wall, dude.
That's his posters.
Dude, Jimmy Butler, like, who had the Heat even go into the finals in the East? I mean, it was
none of us.
Celtics
No, but
or the Sixers. I mean, I would have took the Cavaliers over the freaking Heat, honestly.
Without Hero, I would have been like, there's no chance. And I was, as a Sixer guy, I was pretty excited.
And because Jimmy Butler's been around a while, and I never really considered him this time. I mean, I guess maybe a couple years ago. Was it the bubble year that they lost? That they lost to the?
They lost to the Lakers.
The Lakers, right? So maybe I just, because Jimmy Butler, he bounced around. It's just kind of odd. Seems like if you're going to be Superman, like, I mean, he's always been a star, but it just seems like everywhere he went. And, I had somebody at work telling me that, like, in Chicago, a lot of those places he went to, where he was complaining. Well, he was with the Sixers, was he not? He was with Chicago, the Sixers. I can't remember where else he's been.
Well, him and Embiid got along great. What happened was Ben Simmons complained that he was taking the ball.
Right.
And
Yeah.
We kept Ben over Butler, which was the worst mistake.
Yeah, and I got a buddy at work from Chicago who said that it was not Jalen Rose, Derrick Rose. They had beef with Derrick Rose or something to do with Derrick Rose, and that's why Jimmy Butler either wanted out or was down the road. Same thing happened with the 76ers. You don't necessarily see a player that goes Jordan-esque in the playoffs, bouncing around from teams like that. But my buddy in Chicago was saying that in the reality, because you remember for a while there, everybody was kind of negative and down on Jimmy because he kind of started to seem like a cancer. He kind of just started to seem like a Kevin Durant. Well, not that Durant's a cancer, but just somebody that
Or Kyrie.
Kyrie, anywhere he goes, it just doesn't work out. It just doesn't work out. I just don't like these guys. I don't like the coach. He started to seem like one of those type players. And from what I'm hearing, that wasn't necessarily the case. Those situations that you were in with those players were kind of jacked, and that he was in the right in those situations, and that maybe this is the player Jimmy playoff Jimmy always was, and he never had all the right parts and pieces around him to make it happen.
I'm going to actually, I 100% agree with what you're saying, because when he was this is the first time he was in the perfect situation for him. So like when the Sixers had him, we started to make him more outside shooting Jimmy, and then they put the ball in his hand. That's when Jimmy excelled. And that's what he's doing in Miami. So he's not an outside shooter, right? So he's a guy penetrator and he can pass. So he's surrounded by shooters. So now his weakness, now it is covered up. So Jimmy is just aggressive. He's strong. He drives. He can drive, get the double, kick it out to the shooters. And now he's the main guy. So this is like the perfect situation for him with a coach that he respects. I don't think he respected the coach with the Sixers, Brett Brown. I don't think he respected the T-Wolves or the team. So he's got the right mentality with Pat Riley and the players around him where he can excel.
Right. And, the one thing that I guess I fear as a Nuggets fan, because, again, the Nuggets have never been to an NBA Finals. They've never even sniffed a championship in their entire existence. Which is
Yeah, they had an NBA championship, I think it was.
Yeah, maybe back with David Thompson back in the day. The Heat and playoff Jimmy, are kind of reminding me of just a little, maybe not exact, but of the Bulls. I mean, think about it. The Bulls won 6 championships with basically one player and a bunch of role players, essentially, that knew their role and shut their mouth. They won 6 championships. So if Jordan was an 11, playoff Jimmy right now, he's playing at like a 9.5. And if he just has the right role players, one man can single-handedly go on and win a championship. It's been done before. I'm not saying it's that likely against a team like the Nuggets.
You're smoking some good weed out there,
It's
Spencer.
happened before, bro.
That's what Michael Jordan said.
Who would have thought that playoff Jimmy would have got past the first round, and now he's about probably to go to the NBA Finals?
Same thing with the Lakers.
So, yeah, but I mean, look at the Lakers. They got LeBron. They got Anthony Davis. They have at least a few.
Yeah, but the Lakers ain't on the verge, though. But the Heat are on the verge.
Playoff Jimmy is Jordan-esque right now. And
he's
like
playoff-esque, not Jordan-esque.
I don't know, man. Look what didn't he average like 30-some points in the series playing like 40 minutes? That's Jordan numbers.
I think they need to drug test him and see what he's putting in his Kool-Aid. Seriously, what planet is he on right now? Because this ain't normal. This ain't normal, regular season Jimmy.
No. Jimmy's playing for what he wants to play for. That's the title.
Is he spiking his coffee with HGH or something? Because he's next level right now. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right, well, cool.
I'm going to get something you loose, my brother. The game's on.
Game's on. Okay, awesome, guys. Tell everybody I said hello. See you guys next week. Hopefully next week we're going to be talking about the Nuggies being in the NBA Finals.
We'll see it right there. Heck yeah, boys. Yes, let's do it.
All right, guys. See ya. Tell everybody I said hi. I miss
Bye.
Right on. Love y'all. Peace
Hey,
out.
guys.
All right, cool, guys. We're going to take just Mark, can you stick around for a little while longer?
Sure.
I don't know, we got like another maybe 15 minutes or so. Sweet. I'm just going to run some ads. We'll take a quick break, probably like a minute and a half, and give a shout out to our sponsors. And we'll be back. I kind of want to dive into a little NFL schedule anyways, and we'll go from there. So back in like a minute and a half.
to Sports and Tacos. We got freaks out there. We got 4 of them. We got 5 of them. We got special guests. We got a man in the shower. We got a brainiac. We got a guy that looks like he's supposed to be on Sports Center. And then you got me. It's all about the TMP, Sports and Tacos.
Perfect. Sports talk shows where the hosts may be famous, when they get paid, no matter whether they're right or wrong, kind of like the weatherman, on Sports and Tacos, we only get paid to be right. So on Sports and Tacos, we put our money where our mouth is. Watch Sports and Tacos.
YouTube is the place to go to watch some Sports and Tacos, y'all. Check us out 3 times a week. Follow us, like us. We love you. Let's do it. Join us.
Okay.
Why Sports and Tacos? Because we're number 1. We try to do things a little different from everybody else, and that's who we are because we party like the big dogs.
Okay, sweet. All right, dudes. Let's see. I want to give a shout out to our buddy, one of our guests that comes on the show regularly, Mr. Paul Pratt, ex-Detroit Lion, and his super amazing, super hydrating Noah water. Go check it out on Instagram, Google. Go get some Noah water. It's great stuff. Also, want to give a shout out to our buddy Ray Panetto over at Pro Signatures Memorabilia. Ray, they're up in Simi Valley. Pro Signatures Memorabilia has the coolest sports memorabilia collages that like I've ever seen in my entire life. It's like basically it's sports artwork. Also want to give a shout out to Mr. Doug Plank, ex-free safety for the Chicago Bears, and Miss Megan Johnson for coming on the show on a regular basis. Check out their podcast, Sports and Shopping, Saturdays at 11 a.m. And one other, we have a new super major sponsor, our buddy Dan Wolkin, who is the sports memorabilia expert on Pawn Stars. If anybody's familiar with Pawn Stars, he's been on like over 50 episodes. He has one of the most renowned sports memorabilia businesses in the entire world called Memory Lane Inc. down in Orange County. So, you know, if you stumble across like a Babe Ruth rookie card or like an autographed Mickey Mantle baseball, Dan Wolkin is the guy you want to call over at Memory Lane Incorporated. They said they have their auctions. The auctions that they have are just unbelievable. It's like my Christmas wish list. So, and Dan should be back on the show sometime in the next month or two. And that's pretty much our those are our sponsors, and we appreciate them a lot, and we're looking to get more of them. So, Mark, I wanted to chat a little bit about, so you're an Eagles fan, right? Have you had a chance to check out the Eagles schedule this season?
I did. It's a really hard schedule.
Well, I mean, you know, you guys did make it to the Super Bowl, so.
Yeah, we were expecting to have a tough schedule, but
so you open up at the Patriots. That's a win. You got the Vikings in week 2. That should be a win. What are your thoughts on the Vikings, Mark? I hate to say it, but I see them falling off maybe not falling off a cliff, but I knew, you know, I hate to say it, but I think the whole world kind of knew that they were sort of overrated last season.
Mm-hmm.
That's a win.
Yes.
I think
Cousins, you know, he can't put it. He never can do it.
What else do we got here? Then you got Tampa. You know, that's a Brady-less Tampa team. They're not nearly as scary as they used to be. The Commanders. That's a win. Eagles at the Rams. What are your thoughts on the Rams this season? They should be better than last year, right?
They should be better, right?
And that's at Los Angeles.
Yeah, we got a bunch of people coming out. I think it depends on Stafford, right? Like if he's healthy or not. but I feel like they're losing so many people. They lose Ramsey. They're getting older. Cup. I mean, I think they'll be fine. It's a tough division.
Yeah.
Maybe like
Sun-
8 wins.
Sunday, October 15th is going to be an interesting game at the Jets.
Who would've
You got
thought?
you got Aaron Rodgers now, dude.
Yeah, got a tough defense.
They were a great quarterback away from being a good to greatish team last year.
Yeah, they're young, right? They have some good offensive pieces. They're gonna get more experience, some nice receivers. I think he's getting a couple of his guys in there as well. I feel like that's gonna be a battle for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just say, on a scale of 1 to 10, because that's at the Rams. That's probably a win. I mean, it should be a win, but I guess I wouldn't be crazy surprised if the Rams at the Jets, if the Jets somehow won that game. You got a kind of a toughie on the 22nd of October. I think I still am kind of undecided about the Dolphins, but it's the Dolphins at the Eagles.
That's a tough one.
I think that's a win. I think the Dolphins are kind of like the Vikings in a way. Honestly, I don't think Tua. I don't think he's the answer. I mean, I long term, I just don't. He puts up good numbers. I'm not all in on Tua. I wish Bama was on here because he's from Alabama, so obviously he's all about his ex-Bama quarterbacks. But that could be a toughie. You should win that game. You should win at Washington the next week. Then the Cowboys come to town. Cowboys at Philly. Boy, I guess it's at Philly. Is that a win or a loss?
That's a win.
That's a
It's a
win.
win at home. Yeah, the Cowboys something will happen to them and they'll fall apart by that point.
And I'm sure the biggest game, at least Monday night game of the year, you got at the Chiefs.
Ooh, that's tough. That's tough.
At the Chiefs, bro.
At Chiefs. That game.
You guys ain't winning that game.
One.
You guys ain't gonna win that game. Nope. If that was in Philly, I'd give you a chance, or a neutral field, but that's at Arrowhead at night in November.
I mean, what do you think? The Mahomes never really missed games. Kelsey's been healthy, so.
Okay, we talk about this all the time.
You're a Bronco fan, and
I know, and it pisses me
off
because I hate the Chiefs. I hate the Raiders, and I hate the Chargers. They're my mortal enemies, But okay, this was Alex Ginzel. She's one of the co-hosts normally. She's from Kansas City. This is the thing that scares the crap out of me about the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, they won the Super Bowl, what was it, 3 years ago? That team was better than this team that beat the Eagles. It just was. They had many rookies. They had many, no-name players. They lost their best wide receiver to Miami, and they still won the freaking Super Bowl, dude. And they had all their draft picks, so they've only gotten a little bit better than they were last year, and that's scary.
Well, the other thing too is I think we lost because our defensive coordinator got out-coached, one, and then phantom hold call that never should have been called, not giving us a chance. So
no, I get it.
Yeah, right. It happened. So like Mahomes to me is just that good. Like I've never seen a guy. I hate because I'm also a Charger fan too. So I hate seeing Mahomes. I think the refs they want to make Mahomes as the guy,
the next GOAT.
As the next GOAT, he's the next Tom Brady. But
do you realize? I mean, but don't get me wrong. Tom Brady's statistics are insane.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mahomes has been a starter. I think because he didn't play his rookie season really till like the last week, so he's been a starter for I believe 5 years. You realize he has been to the AFC Championship game 5 times in 5 years as a starter.
Yes, it's amazing.
That's insane, dude.
Brady wasn't that guy, and I think skill-wise, he's got more skills than Brady.
He's got more skills than like any quarterback I think I've ever seen in the world ever. It's like if John Elway and Tom Brady were to make a baby, it would be Patrick
right.
Mahomes.
That's a good comparison because young Elway was like, running around. He was like, people forget how much of a scrambler he was, and he's probably one of the strongest arms
ever in the
ever,
history
yeah.
of the game.
Him, Marino, I
laser,
think. Yeah.
laser rocket arm. He's got all the things, man. So, anyways, you're losing, I think, probably at Kansas City. Then, I mean, you got a stretch here that's tough towards the end of the year. Then you got the Bills at Philly. That's going to be a shootout. I think you probably win that game, but that's going to be a shootout. What are your thoughts?
I'm gonna say, okay, so we kind of retold. We got a lot of young Georgia guys on D, so it's gonna take a minute to kind of get ready. So by the time we get to the meat of the schedule, we're gonna have a bunch of games for these guys to really gear up. So I think that's gonna be a big plus for us. I think if we had some of those games, those tough games early on, I would be a little bit more worried. So I think as long as like we get the defense, the new coordinators, they kind of get their feet wet. The players get their experience. By that time, I feel pretty good because in a way, if the guys that we have on D potentially have more talent than the guys that we let go. They're more athletic, they're faster, they're stronger. So
I see the Eagles winning that game by like a field goal. Yeah. I would not be crazy surprised if they lost that game, but I think you guys win by like a field goal. I think the Bills are another team that might take a little notch down because you can only be like on the brink for so long. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Of greatness before you start to lose players because of contracts and this and that. And I hate to say it. I think Josh Allen is going to have a great career, but I think if they were going to win a Super Bowl, it would have been in the last like 4 years. That's just me. I might be wrong. He could be like Elway, where he's really good early in his career, and then maybe later in his career, somebody goes out and buys a team and puts the right team around him to finally get him that trophy, you know. But I think you guys probably win that game by a field goal. Then you go to Dallas. I have to say, at least just from if history is right, you're going to struggle at that in that game. I think. I don't know. You know, again, Dak is a quarterback that is slowly kind of playing his way out, not out of the NFL, but out of a top. No, I never thought he was a top tier quarterback, but even out of even being like a top 10 starter. So you could win in Dallas, but that's going to be a hard game. Then, you know, don't sleep on the Seahawks.
No,
they have this. You mark my words. The Seahawks and the Bears are just loading up. They're like the Cubs and the Astros of like 2016, where they might not have been that great last year, but they have so many freaking draft picks that that just don't sleep on that game at Seattle.
Plus, they have a great coach, Pete Carroll. I mean, he gets guys.
Just so you know, Pete Carroll could go take a long walk off a short pier. That's all I'm gonna say. I literally think he hoodwinked the Denver Broncos. He knew Russell Wilson was done, and he knew that like ownership was changing. Like anybody making the important decisions were like going away, and he was like, oh hey, you want to give us like all your draft picks for like the next 3 years for our super amazing quarterback that can't play for crap anymore? And we did it. But that's me. I'm a Broncos fan. I think Pete Carroll completely hoodwinked the Denver Broncos.
Oh, he hoodwinked them like crazy. It kind of reminded me of that Herschel Walker.
It could go down. It could go down as the worst trade ever.
Just set them up. But here's the thing. Here's what I'll say about the Broncos, though. Like, if anybody could get a quarterback to play, it's Sean Payton. And if he can't get Russ to play, then we got issues. But I feel like you got Judy. You got some receivers. I think he's gonna unlock those guys. Who was the other receiver you guys have? Who's like
we do have some decent young receivers.
Yeah.
I don't want to dive too far into this, but I think the problem is Russ is more worried about his brand these days. Okay. And I think he no longer wants to be considered, or for some reason doesn't want to be scrambling around Russ. He's all of a sudden a pocket passer. and that's not what he is. That is not what has made him great, and it does not work.
Oh, 100%. Here's the other issue too, because also being a Charger season ticket, and we both have the same problem. Unless we win the division, then we got to go on the road and then go through Kansas City, and it's so hard, as you know, to win in Kansas City.
Yeah.
So we got to somehow knock the Chiefs off.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, at Seattle, not an easy game. Then the Giants come to town. That's a much improved Giants, a playoff Giants team from last year. So that's not necessarily an easy game. You probably get the W there, but again, that could be one of those games they don't get up for and lose by a field goal, possibly. You probably get the win at the Cardinals. So, I mean, that probably puts you guys at what, 14-3?
Yeah.
You know, you should be probably the number one seed, you know, again in the NFC, because you guys are really good, but you know, it's starting.
Yeah.
I'm getting tired of dynasties.
Well, here's the thing, though. There's how many other good quarterbacks are in the NFC? So it's like Hurts,
No.
if Kyler Murray.
Oh,
yeah.
You want to hear my one other bold statement?
Yeah.
I skipped a game there. The 49ers. I think you guys are going to lose to the 49ers. You want to know why you're going to lose to the 49ers?
Love to hear.
Tom Brady's going to be the quarterback of the 49ers.
Whoa, that's a bold statement. When you
Mind blown.
So you think he's gonna wait? He's like, I'm not going through preseason. Maybe I'll just jump in there.
Dude, I mean, it's only May.
Right.
We got a lot of time till football season starts.
That would be wild.
Bro, he is from Northern California, and that team is absolutely primed to make a run at the Super Bowl if they had Tom Brady as their quarterback. It's too easy, dude. I'm telling you. I've been telling everybody. Like, they're going to pick up the phone and say, Tom, you know you're not going to be able to just sit on the bench for freaking football season.
That would be the perfect team, because they just throw it to McCaffrey, to Debo, and let them do their thing, you know, dink and dunk to Kittle. They don't have to go deep like they did with the Bucks. That would be the perfect fit, and they have the defense, so he doesn't have to do much.
Dude, they have all the pieces.
They have all the pieces, right?
So anyway, I think we're gonna wrap it up tonight with that bold, crazy prediction. And here's the other prediction. We've talked about this. If Tom Brady were to come out of retirement again and go play for the San Francisco 49ers, take the 49ers to the Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes, who would you pick in that game?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I think if we got to that point, I think I would probably go Niners, because their defense is pretty stacked. Pretty stacked.
Well, and I mean, think about the offense too.
Yeah,
you got McCaffrey, you got freaking dude. You have it, and if you were to put, you know, a grizzled old veteran like Tom Brady for one last season.
Yeah, you know what? You're right, because McCaffrey came in what? He came in like not
halfway.
For the full. Debo was hurt.
Yeah.
Ayuk was kind of banged up, so you give them a full healthy roster with Brady to work with. Yeah, I can see it.
I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. I'm telling you. So, anyways, cool. Yeah. We're gonna wrap it up. We're at pretty much at our hour mark. I appreciate you coming on. Love to have you on again.
Yeah,
I always like to have people who are, you know, love sports or passionate about sports. Come on, Sports and Tacos. So
love it. Thanks.
And so it's every Monday night at 6:30. Then when football season starts, we do a Sunday morning episode, like a pregame episode, and then Monday nights we do kind of the post-game wrap up from the. But for right now, until football season starts, 6:30 every Monday night. Sports and Tacos. Check it out on YouTube. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Go subscribe. We're getting bigger and bigger guests all the time. So, anyways, thanks for coming on, Mark. Farah, thank you very much for, you know, you didn't have to referee anything tonight, but thanks for coming on anyways, you know, freaking, because you never know. Things sometimes get heated, Mark, on Sports and Tacos between the boys. So
I love it.
Yeah,
I love the
we got
debate.
it. It's good to have a director and a ref and an amazing editor, Miss Farah El-Shadi. So, anyways, that's another edition of Sports and Tacos in the books, guys. Thanks for coming on. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.